Things could be worse. I'm not a fretter, but then there's the curse. Things could be better. My knuckles bruised and my shoulders cut.
Hello and welcome all to Tales from the Time Traveler's Tavern. I will be your guide and navigator, Mr.E, taking you on this informative journey. Informative of what? We still don't know. But that's why I have had the good fortune to bring along with me the colorful commentary of our internet guru, my good friend Toast.
Butter is optional.
There you go. And to the other side, we have Private Snafu.
Good day, Mr.E. Good day, Toast.
Alright, now we're going to go down a traveling line of science fiction or science fiction and all that kind of good stuff.
And people went, okay, it was at least entertaining.
So, kind of like the Bible.
But it's not entertaining.
Yeah. That thing's boring.
My brother tried to read the whole thing once.
I'm sorry.
Well, the reason why actually made sense was their kids, him and his wife's kids, were about to start school. Like the Sunday schooling. And he wanted to know what they were being taught.
Okay.
Because we grew up Lutheran. My sister-in-law grew up Catholic.
Okay.
So he wanted to know what they were going to be taught, because he wanted to know if he had to go so far as to, I don't want to say counter it, but if he had to basically give alternative explanations.
Alternative facts.
And the problem he was having was, it was really boring. The books that either people will cherry pick the verses they want, or they know like Revelations, because Revelations is exciting.
Well, can't I just ask, couldn't he request the curriculum so that he would know where he has to read up on?
It was easier just to read a Bible.
If you say so.
The reasoning he gave actually did make sense, which was simply, yes, he could have just requested the curriculum, but...
Then he would have to provide a reason why.
No. But he'd always wanted a reason to just read the Bible.
Okay.
That was it. He didn't have anything better than that. Besides, he had always meant to and just never got around to it.
For what that's worth, by the way. Speaking of reading the written word and not being able to get through it, you ever read Tolkien's works? Lord of the Rings?
I did in school.
If you ever get the chance, don't bother with the Silmarillion or Untold Tales, because you will literally look up from the pages dizzy, trying to follow the trains of logic, because they are circular in nature. It's like being shrunk down and then riding your way down a corkscrew repeatedly until you're dizzy.
On that note,
Such is alcoholism.
I have a book called, is it House of Fog? It's House of Leaves. There's other books.
You talked about it in the last podcast, I believe.
Right, but it's a book where literally, at one point in time, the only way to read it is to put your finger on the page and rotate the book, because the words are written in a spiral.
Right.
It's actually really... It's a good book. It's a little slow at parts, but it's actually a really good book.
This isn't like that, though. This is the logic is circular in motion. So following it is, you're sitting there just going, I can't do this. Anyway, shall we get back to dream symbols?
Sure.
Alright, we're on to number 12.
You know, this would be an interesting drinking game. Every time you read one, you have to take a shot of the
I'm not touching that stuff.
I would.
Number 12.
I was going to say, and by number 3, everyone is dead.
Yeah, hey?
You're on. I've taken 2 already.
Oh, boy.
I didn't say what would kill you.
Oh.
This is true. This is true. Number 12. Hair. Hair has significant ties with sexuality, according to Freud. Abundant hair may symbolize virility, while cutting hair off in a dream shows a loss of libido.
What's libido?
Sex drive.
Yeah.
It's also a reference to Samson. Samson, who had great strength until Delilah cut his hair.
Oh, I thought I heard that one. And then he was like some super beast guy, and like then he pulled a house down, and he told all these lies and shit. And
I don't know about that part, but I do know that Samson was basically, what was it? He was chained to pillars, and he actually just basically yanked everything down because he was super strong.
Right.
Until his hair was cut.
Yep.
I was also partially laughing due to the fact that there's a song called Hair by the Cowsills. It starts with...
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Give me a head with hair,
Yeah,
long,
yeah,
beautiful
that one,
hair.
yeah.
It's a song entirely about hair.
Mm-hmm. It was the 70s.
I have it on vinyl.
Hair loss may also express a literal fear of going bald. Which, again, could symbolize virility, because, the less hair you have, the more your head resembles a phallus.
Uh-huh.
Think about it. Just draw a line down the center.
If that's where your mind goes.
Hey, there are some people where, with or without hair, you could easily imagine that the reason they wear neckties is to keep the foreskin from smothering them.
Just think about that thought. He spends enough time imagining people and foreskins.
Imagining them being smothered by their own foreskin, I think, is more accurate. I don't know what
Which
that
doesn't
says.
make it any better.
I don't know what that says about me, other than maybe I want to see them get choked by a phallus. Yeah, that might be accurate.
So he's saying he likes to watch gay porn.
No, actually, I think what I'm saying is I want to watch certain of our politicians choked to death on phalluses because they're so homophobic. I don't particularly care for gay porn. I've never actually seen movies, but in Pennsylvania... I know, I love where this is going too.
But in Pennsylvania, is this tied to a previous episode or something?
No, I don't know if it is. When I was in my early 20s,
Still not getting any better here.
no, a friend of mine and his mother
Still not getting any better.
asked me if I could go with them to Wampum, Pennsylvania.
Still not getting any better here.
I'll get there, just give me a
That's
second.
what she said. I had to.
Anyway, the reason for this being that the friend's mother had become the power of attorney for a close family friend of theirs.
And she was a dominatrix.
No. But he was very much a homosexual loner for a very long time. Well, what it had come down to is he had suffered a very large number of strokes. 51 mini strokes, if I am correct. The brain problem, not the other kind.
Don't make the joke so easy then.
Not thinking about how to not make it a joke. I'm just telling a story. So one problem in particular was the fact that it was all the way out in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And when I say nowhere, I really mean nowhere. This place, we couldn't find this place on a map. The closest we could find is where this guy had been moved to by the state, because he was no longer considered mentally independent because of this event. So he'd been moved to a nursing home in a place called Zillionople.
Just as a side note, Nowhere Road, Hull, Georgia, is a place.
Fair enough.
I went wrong way street.
Hell, there's a place called Zyzex in California. It's also a road, but it's spelled with multiple X's and Y's and Z's.
Wrong Way Lane, Lake Hills, Texas.
Go ahead, look up Zyzex once.
How do you spell it?
I think it's XYX ZYX.
XY, XY, XY. That's a place listed for Lillian Avenue, Baltimore.
No, this is a place in California. Zyzex Road.
I'm just working my way through. It doesn't list one. Put a T in there, it doesn't do anything.
Here. See if I can bring it up on my phone.
Let's see what the closest approximation is. Nope, no results.
Zyzex Road, California. Come on. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. It's multiple Z's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it actually exists. It's ZZYZX. Anyway, so yeah, we had to go to Pennsylvania, and we had to The other problem is that he had fallen behind on payments on his house and other such things. So we had the bank was foreclosing on the house because of the fact that she had been named power of attorney. It was her responsibility to go there and make the house
Livable?
at least close to ready to be taken over by the bank, which meant that we had to go there. And this guy had let this place go. One of the first and foremost problems is it had no running water. It used to. And then he got it in his head somehow that because he hadn't paid his Culligan bill, they had shut off his water. When I got out there, I said, I don't think Culligan's going to be able to help you here. And she said, what do you mean? I said, we're out in the sticks. This place doesn't have city water. Culligan is a water company for water softeners and drinking water. They aren't going to have anything to do with this place.
With a local well?
This has got to be well water. You got to get your well checked. And she didn't believe me until she went and paid the Culligan bill, and they told her the exact same thing. And then she comes out to the car afterwards and says, well, you were right. And I said, why did you listen to me in the first place, then? So she goes and gets someone out there to check on the well. Turns out shaft's bad. It's going to be like $2,500 to fix.
Wow.
Yeah.
$2,500 to fix your shaft.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't get any better. We also spent a lot of time burning stuffed animals there. He and his deceased mother had a very large collection of stuffed animals that, because of the condition of the house, had become pest infested. So we had to burn all of those. So I imagine there's a very special place in hell for me because of the fact that I had to dispose of a large selection of teddy bears, various other stuffed animals, and gay porn DVDs all in the same garbage fire.
Working at Five Nights at Freddy's, making $120 a week.
Oh my god.
I don't follow.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a game.
And Rhett and Link did a song for it. I'm probably giving them way too many plugs on this, but I don't give it anything.
Yeah.
It's a song you should look up. It's actually a very well done song, considering they wrote it in less than an hour.
That's interesting.
With Markiplier.
I forgot that they did that, yeah.
It's a thing.
But anyway. So yeah, that was something. And there was no running water, but there was, in fact, a waterfall on the property. So we had means to get water to, clean with. Wasn't necessarily drinkable water, but so that was a thing that happened.
Imagine all the fun you're gonna have editing this section.
Oh, it's gonna suck. But so yeah. Number 13, hands. Hands are always present in dreams, but when they are tied up, it may represent feelings of futility.
BDSM?
Washing your hands may express guilt. Looking closely at your hands in a dream is a good way to become lucid.
Really?
Yeah, because if you do this, someone's gonna smack your hand. Go ahead, try it.
No. Because you're going to snag my hand.
I think what they're referring to, though, is when you're looking for finer details in dreams, they are often not present. So, not being able to find them, not being able to find the really fine lines in your hand, would be a definer for you to go, this is a dream. I think. How far off do you suppose that I am, Toast?
No, I don't know.
About 5.3 meters.
I've always been told I'm left of center. Anyway.
How much is that in Imperial? Oh, come on. You don't know the conversion rates?
No.
At least I can do pounds to kilograms.
I can't do pounds to kilograms.
It's actually really easy. It's 2.2 pounds to the kilogram.
Okay.
I need to know that for work.
I'll take your word on it.
Yeah, you can actually just lower it roughly. You can actually lower it roughly to 2 to 1. So that way, if you have something that's 1,000 kilos, it's roughly a ton.
Right.
Well, it's a quick side digression.
I digress.
Yes.
Some people regress. Some people redress.
back into the fetal position. Number 14, houses. Houses can host many common dream symbols, but the building as a whole represents your inner psyche. Each room or floor can symbolize different emotions, memories, and interpretations of meaningful events. The parallel I could draw there is actually one a series we've already talked about, Gravity Falls, where they go into Stan's mindscape, and various sections of the Mystery Shack are different representatives of memories or events that have happened or things like that. Again, watch the series, Snafu. You'll enjoy it. I promise.
Yeah, maybe, because it's different for everybody.
True. You probably like it.
Your results may vary.
That's what they said about the army.
Exactly. But that's true for everything. Your results may vary.
Indeed.
That is like the one true of everybody's life.
Here's one going back to something that you were talking about before. Number 15, killing. Killing in your dreams. All right. Well, on that note of fact, validation, and verification, any other shuns we should add to that? Parting words, Snafu?
I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
Okay, and Toast?
I can't believe it's not butter.
All right, then. Once again, this has been your navigator and guide, Mr. E. Thank you for joining Tales from the Time Traveler's Tavern. So that's it.